Hello, my yarny friends. I'm Sara Sach. Welcome back to my crochet channel. And welcome to another edition of Friday Fun Day. So what we're going to make today for our Friday Fun Day project is this adorable, easy 4-leaf clover. You can see it is a 4-leaf clover. And you can see that this one is made out of cotton yarn. I used the Premier Home Cotton for this one. And it is a washcloth and measures 9.5 by 9.5 inches. So it's a nice size to use in the kitchen for a dishcloth or in the bathroom for a washcloth or maybe just for decoration. And you can also use this as a small decorative doily. And you can use acrylic yarns if you want to. That's why I have my green candle right here in the center so you can see how pretty it looks as just a doily. You can put a bowl of candy on it with some maybe green M&Ms or a candle or a small dish with maybe some sugar cubes or something if you do a family get together. But it also, like I said, makes a nice washcloth or a small doily. Now you can find this complete pattern on my blog, and as always I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. Alright, let's talk yarn. This is Premier Home Cotton that I used for the body of our washcloth or doily, and then I trimmed it in this white cotton. And the white cotton that I used is I Love This Cotton. Those were just cotton yarns that I had on hand. They're a medium weight number 4 cottons. For today's demonstration, I'm going to be using this yarn. This is the Premier Just Yarn Ombre. And I'm going to be using this. It's a medium weight number 4 acrylic. And I'm going to be using it for the whole project. Okay? On this one, we changed colors on the last 2 rows to add the white. But for today's demonstration, I'm going to do it all in this ombre. I think it's going to be really pretty. And that way you can see how it can be done in 2 different yarns. You can use any yarn that you want as long as it is a medium weight number 4 yarn, whether it be acrylic or cotton or another fiber that you prefer. You're going to need a total of about 1.5 to 2 ounces, depending on how tightly that you stitch. Remember, we have different tension, and so sometimes we stitch a little looser, and when we do that, it takes just a smidge more yarn. All right, so approximately 1.5 ounces of yarn. This has 1.94. Whoops, you can't see that. 1.94, and I made this one. And I've got almost half of one left, a little less than half left. So you can see, and then of course I used the white for the trim. All right. Now we're going to be stitching today with our H hook, which is a 5mm crochet hook. You need a pair of scissors and a needle for weaving in your ends. We're going to begin in the center of our washcloth or doily and work our way out around in rows. All right. Some people call them rounds. You can call them rounds or rows. Either way is fine. We're going to begin with our slip knot. And we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to join this into a circle and tie that stay knot. Now, if you prefer to use a different method for making your beginning circle, it's totally fine. There we go. We're going to go in, pull up a loop, and chain 3. This chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. And we're going to stitch 2 double crochets in the circle. 1 and 2. And chain 1. So we have 3 double crochets, chain 1. Because again, our chain 3 at the beginning counted as our first double crochet. Now we're going to stitch 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And chain 1. We're going to do this 2 more times because we need 4 sets of 3 double crochets, chain 1. You'll also notice I am stitching over that tail of yarn, and that's so we can close that hole up when we finish. 1, 2, and 3. And chain 1, we're going to join to the beginning chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. All right, but before we go and do row 2, we're going to take this tail of yarn, give it just a little bit of a pull to close up that hole. There we go. Put it on our needle. Whoop. We'll try that again. There we go. And now we're just going to close that up by weaving that in back and forth, because we don't want the center of our 4-leaf clover to have a hole. There we go. So I'll go ahead and cut that off. And so for row 1, we have 4 sets of 3 double crochet, chain 1, we join to our first chain 3 and chained 3. Now we're ready for row 2. So we join to our chain 3 and chained 3. We're going to stitch a double crochet in this same stitch as our chain 3. Now we're going to stitch a double crochet in the next double crochet. And then in the last double crochet of those first 3, we're going to stitch 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And we're going to chain 2. So we went from 3 to 5, and instead of a chain 1, we chained 2. All right, so let's go to our next set of 3, and we'll stitch 2 double crochets in the first one, 1 and 2. 1 double crochet in the next, and 2 double crochets in the third, 1 and 2, and we're going to chain 2, and we'll repeat that on these last 2 sides. 2 double crochets in the first, 1 double crochet in the next, and 2 double crochets in that third, double crochet of those 3, and chain 2. Okay, we'll do the last one. 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, whoops, gotta get in there. There we go. And 2 double crochets in the third one. There we go. And 2 double crochets. Now we're going to join to that chain 3. There we go. With a slip stitch. And chain 3. All right, so for row 2, we have 5 double crochets. We have 4 sets of 5 double crochets, and we chain 2 instead of chaining 1 like we did on row 1. All right, so now we're ready for row 3. So our chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and we're going to double crochet in that first chain 3 that we joined. Now we're going to double crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then in that last stitch of this group, we're going to stitch 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, so we had 3, then we had 5. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double crochets, chain 3, and we'll go to our next set, and we'll make sure that we have 7 again. And so we'll stitch 2 double crochets in that first stitch, 1 and 2, 1 double crochet in the next 3, 1, 2, 3, and 2 double crochets in that last double crochet of this group, and then we're going to chain 3. All right, I think you can see how this is working in order to form those 4 petals of our clover. All right, and so you're going to repeat on these next 2 sides what we did over here. 2 double crochets in the first, 1 in the next 3, 2 in the next, and chain 3. I have repeated that on these next 2 sides, so we have 4 sets of 7 double crochet with chain 3s in between. Okay, so now we're going to join to our chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. So now for row 4, we're basically going to repeat what we did. We just have more stitches in our groups. All right, so we've chained 3. We're going to double crochet in that first double crochet. Then we'll double crochet in the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 2 double crochets in the last double crochet of that group. 1 and 2. And this time we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now we have 9 because our chain 3 counted us 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 double crochets, chained 4. All right, so let's do the next section here. So we'll go to that first double crochet and stitch 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. 1 in each of the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we'll stitch 2 in that last double crochet of that group and chain 4. All right, and then we'll repeat what we did here on these last 2 sides and join back to our chain 3 and chain 3. So I have completed row 4. We have 4 sets of 9 double crochet with chain 4s in between. I joined to my chain 3 and chained 3. All right, so now we're going to place a double crochet again in that same stitch as our chain 3. Then we'll stitch 1 double crochet in each of those double crochets across on this first side. And when we get to that last double crochet, we're going to place 2 double crochets in that last stitch. One and 2. And this is going to give us 11 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so then we go to the next set and we stitch 2 double crochets in the first, 1 in each of those double crochets across till we reach that last double crochet of this set, and then we'll stitch 2 double crochets in that last double crochet of this set. There we go, and now we'll stitch 2 double crochets in this last double crochet of that set. Again, we have 11, and then we're going to chain 5. All right, and then like we did, we'll just repeat that on these next 2 sides and join back to our chain 3. I have now completed row 5. We have 4 sets of 11 double crochets with chain 5s in between. We join to our chain 3 and chain 3. All right, so we're going to do this one more time. We'll place a double crochet in the same stitch, as our chain 3, 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets till we reach the last double crochet of each set, and then we'll stitch 2 double crochets in that last double crochet. There we go. Now I'm to my last double crochet of this set, 1 and 2. We're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we'll repeat 2 double crochets in the first, 1 double crochet in each of those stitches in each set. There we go. And when we get to that last double crochet of each set, we stitch 2 double crochets. We're basically stitching 2 double crochets in the beginning and ending of each set. All right, there's my 2 in the last, and chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so we have 13 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 double crochets, chain 6, and then we'll repeat this on these last 2 sides, and again join back to our chain 3. So I have now completed row or round 6. I joined to my chain 3, but I did not chain 3. So for row 6, you're going to have 13 double crochets on your 4 sets with chain 6s in between. All right, now we joined our chain 3 and we only chained 1. On this row, we're going to start forming the little bumps on the ends of our clover petals. All right, so we chain 1. We're going to go right in this first stitch on this row, or on this side is our chain 3, and we're going to stitch a single crochet. Now we're going to double crochet in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to single crochet in the next double crochet. Now we'll double crochet in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In the last stitch, we're going to single crochet. And you can see that's going to start forming the edge of our petals. All right, now we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, let's go to the next side. We're going to single crochet in the first double crochet, double crochet in the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll single crochet in the next, then we'll double crochet in the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then single crochet in that last double crochet and chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, and that's going to start forming those edges. Okay, so we single crocheted, 5 double crochets, single crochet, 5 double crochets, single crochet, and chain 7. And we'll repeat this on these last 2 sides. I have completed row 7, and you can see how we did that, and it's starting to shape the shape of our clover. So we've chained 7. We're going to join to that first single crochet. And now we're going to go right in that first stitch and stitch a single crochet. Then we're going to go in the next stitch and stitch a single crochet. We're going to stitch 1 double crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to stitch a single crochet in that single crochet. Then we'll stitch 1 double crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that leaves us with a double crochet and a single crochet at the end, and we're going to stitch a single in that double and a single in the single, and now we're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and what we're doing here is just shaping this even better. All right, so we've chained 8. We're going to go to our next section or set, and we're going to single crochet in the first 2, 1 and 2, double crochet in the next 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet in the single crochet, and then double crochet in the next 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we have those last 2 stitches, single crochet in the double crochet and single crochet in the single crochet, and chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, and you can see how that's forming those leaves of our clover. All right, so we'll just repeat on these last 2 sets what we did here. I have completed row 8, and you can see again how this is forming those nice edges of our clover. Okay, and so I joined to my first single crochet and chained 1. And each of our sets have 2 single crochets, 4 doubles, and a single crochet, 4 doubles, and 2 singles, and then a chain 8 in between. All right, so now we're going to do row 9. We're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Now we're going to double crochet in the next, and then in the next 2 we're going to place 2 double crochets. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. All right, then we'll place a double crochet, single crochet in the single, then we'll stitch a double crochet. Then in the next 2, we're going to stitch 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 double crochet in the next, and then we end with 2 single crochets. 1 and 2, and then we're going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wants to slip off of there, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And yes, it looks like a heart, and you could do this in red, and it would be a lovely heart doily. All right, so now we're going to do the next set. So we're going to single crochet in the first two, 1 and 2, double crochet in the next, and then again we're going to stitch 2 double crochets in the next two, 1 and 2, then 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Whoops, missed my stitch there. There we go. 1 double crochet in the next, and then single crochet in our single crochet. Then we double crochet in the next double crochet, 2 double crochets in the next, 1 and 2, 2 double crochets in the next, 1 and 2, 1 double crochet in the next, and then we end with 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right. And that's the way that it should look. And we'll repeat what we did here on these next 2 sets and then join back to our first single crochet. Now I have completed row 9, and at this point on this one I did the trim in a white. I changed to white and did the last 2 rows in white. But on this one I'm just going to stick with this yarn. And if you want to change colors, all you need to do is before you do your chain 1, bring in your white or whatever trim you want to do and chain 1. All right? But this is how that your 4-leaf clover, doily, and washcloth should look at row 9. So now we're going to do round or row 10. And whether you changed colors or you're sticking with the same color like I am, the row is stitched the same. Okay, so we're going to single crochet in the first 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. And that brings us to those 2 sets of 2 double crochet. So we're going to single crochet in the next, and then we'll place 2 single crochets in the next 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, then we'll single crochet in those next 2 double crochets, single crochet in the single crochet. All right, then we'll single crochet in the next 2, 1 and 2. That brings us, again, we did 1 in that first one of those 2, and so we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next 2. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. All right, and then we'll stitch 1 single crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 in the last. All right, so let's take a look at that real quick just so you understand what we're doing. We're stitching all single crochets. So we stitched 1 in the first 4, 2 in the next 2, and then we stitched 2 more, 1 in the center single crochet, then we stitched 2 more, 2 single crochets in the next 2, and then 1 in the last 4. So basically we're stitching 2 in the 2 center double crochets on the 2 sides just to keep the shape going. All right, and now we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so that brings us to our next portion. We're going to single crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 single crochets in the next 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, now we're going to single crochet in the next 2 double crochets, single crochet in the single crochet, single crochet in the next 2 double crochets, 2 single crochets in the next 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. And now we're going to do what we did here on these next 2 sets. I have completed row 10, and you can see how nice and pretty that lays. And what we're going to do is do row 11, and that's just a finishing row. Okay, and all we're going to do is we're going to place 1 single crochet in each of our single crochet stitches, and then of course we're going to chain 11 because we're on row 11. All right, so I'm going to chain 1. We're going to stitch a single crochet in each of our stitches in our sets. Just single crochet in each one. And again, on the other one that I did this row as well in the white. But I'm really liking this one all done in this ombre green. It's really pretty. Alrighty, so now I've stitched my last single crochet, and we're going to do 11 single crochets around our chain 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So instead of chaining 11, we stitched 11 single crochets around that chain 10. All right, and then we'll stitch a single crochet in each of our single crochets. And this row really just gives it a nice finishing touch and also helps it hold its shape. So 1 single crochet in each of the stitches. All right, that brings us to our chain 10, and again we're just going to stitch 11 single crochets around that chain 10. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. All right, and that just makes it lay so pretty. All right, and it also sort of brings these out to give a nice flow. So we're just going to repeat what we did here on these last 2 sides, and then we'll make that little loop that's of course the stem of our clover, but also so we can hang it up if we want to. So I have now completed row 11, and the doily is complete, or washcloth. And so the last thing we're going to do is, if you want to add a loop, I like to have them so that when they get wet, I can hang it up to dry. And it also makes it look like it has the little stem of a clover, but it's totally up to you. After we did our 11 single crochets, we joined to our first single crochet, and we're going to chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And we're just going to join right back to that same stitch with a slip stitch. And tie off. All right, now I'm going to pull that loop from my yarn, not the loop that we just made, to the back so I can weave that in the back. Okay, and then if you turn it this way, it kind of looks like the little stem, you know, of your clover as well. All right? All righty, I'm going to weave this in with my needle and tidy this up. I have completed my simple 4-leaf clover washcloth and doily. I love how it turned out. It's absolutely beautiful. But one thing you'll notice that the original one is just a little bit smaller. All right, and that's okay. I probably just loosened my tension a little on this one. This one's measuring 10 by 10, where this one measures 9.5 by 9.5. I used both medium weight number 4. This is cotton, this is acrylic, and I really love both of them. I think they both turned out really pretty. So again, you can use this as a washcloth, a dishcloth, or a doily to dress up your St. Patrick's Day celebrations.